everything is equal to 0. Okay? And we are dealing first with the two-dimensionals. Ibig sabihin ng two-dimension, plane lang tayo. Okay? So, kumbaga, lahat ng forces natin, it is acting on a certain plane. It's either on the XY plane, XZ plane, or YX plane, or YZ plane. Okay? So, either of those planes, as long as it is two-dimensional. Okay? So, you may refer to Ferdinand Singer, maraming yung libro kulay blue. So, maraming questions si Ferdinand Singer regarding the equilibrium of two dimensions. Okay? So, before we proceed, i-review natin yung mga reactions. No? So, kung napanood nyo yung videos, so dapat alam nyo kung ilang forces ang meron sa kada members. For example, meron kang external supports. Okay? So, kapag pin or hinge, almost they are the same. No? So, you have two reactions, isang vertical and then isang horizontal. Kapag naman meron kang cord or cable, okay, palagi lang siyang isa. So, yung force niya is always parallel doon sa ating cord. Okay? Kapag sinabi naman nating normal force, okay, para siyang isang smooth surface. So, kapag meron tayong smooth surface, ang lagi lang meron tayo doon is the force which is perpendicular to the surface. Except that, kapag nagkaroon tayo ng friction. So, for today, wala pa tayong friction, but maybe that would be for next week. So, we will deal more on the two-dimension with a smooth surface. Okay? Excuse me. So, example, a rod is connected at, a rod is connected to a pin at A. Okay? So, this point, ay, nasa nilapis. So, yung point A daw, okay, it is a pin. Okay? And a cord at B. So, ibig sabihin, this BC, isa siyang rod, no? Isang cord siya or isang cable. Yung cylinder daw is nagwe-weigh ng 176 Newton. Okay? So, sa engineering mechanics, okay, do not, para kasing laging sinasabi ng estudyante, siya saan ba makita niya sa totoong buhay? Okay? So, ang hirap daw i-imagine. Okay? So, yung imagination niya, parang ganito. Sabihin na natin, ano? Okay. Example, ito yung wall. Okay. Tapos, dito yung pin at A. Maybe marami yun. Okay. And then, meron kang rod na nakaganon. Okay. So, ito yung rod mo. So, ito, pwedeng plywood. Okay. So, parang sa plywood na yan, dyan nakarest yung pinaka-drum mo. Okay, doon nakarest yung pinaka-drum. And then at this point, meron dong rod. Yun yung cable BC. Okay, so ginagawa yan, parang, let's say, kukumpitin yung buong weight nun. Pagtutulungan ng dalawa kasi. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, nahatiin niya yan sa gitna. Okay? Itong part ng cylinder na to, itong system na to yung magdadala. And then yung kalahati, yung kabila naman. Okay? So, iyon yung weight nun. Kumbaga, tinignan natin sa ganitong view. Okay? Pag tinignan mo sa ganyang view, ito na yung view ng ating pinaka-cylinder. No? Okay. So, delete ko muna yan. Okay. Okay. So, yung nagwe-weigh daw yun ng 176 Newton. So, definitely, kung walang ibinigay dito sa statics of rigid body, gaya ng sinabi ko, it is always at the center. Okay? Doon natin makikita or doon nag-a-act yung ating weight. So, yung 176 Newton. Meron daw siyang diameter na 2 meters, kaya yung pinaka-radius niya, we have there 1 meter. So, unang hinahanap, determine the force between the drum and then the rod. So, ito yung rod natin, and then ito yung ating cylinder. So, kung may weight yan, there is a contact. Basta merong contact, yung dalawang bodies, technically, meron siyang force. Okay? So, yung force na yon, okay, to mind you, it is always perpendicular para dun sa rod. And technically, that is acting at the center. No? Tumatama yun dun sa center. So, tawagin natin yung reaction. We'll call that as our R. Okay? So, we do not want. Dalawa pala yung surface natin. Tawagin natin tong R2. Okay, R2 na lang. Ito rin kasi, yung cylinder natin, nakarest din siya dito sa pinaka-wall natin. Ano? So, basically, meron din siyang force. tawagin natin yung R1. Okay? Now, sabi natin, pag nag-isolate tayo ng isang body, so meron kasi tayong tatlong bodies dito, no? Unang body, we have the cylinder. Second rigid body is the rod AB. And then the third body is the cord BC. Okay? So what we will do is we try to isolate yung ating pinaka we try to isolate yung ating pinaka cylinder. Okay? So once you isolate it, okay, pwede natin lagay lahat ng forces sa kanya. So basically, you have here the weight. So that is the 176 Newton. Okay? Also, meron ka dito, no? So you have here the R1 and okay. You have here also the R2. Okay? Okay. Now, if you will see, this system comprises of actually 3 forces. So sabi natin kapag yung isang body, okay, in equilibrium and then exactly 3 forces yung kanilang tumatama or yung na-experience ng body, then these 3 forces are said to be concurrent. So they will meet at the common point and that is actually the center. So kung napanood nyo yung videos kahapon, so ang ginawa doon, pwede kang mag-triangle method. Pwede kang mag-parallelogram method, etc. Okay? Pero in this case, parang mas madali siyang mag-summation forces vertical and horizontal na lang. What we need to know is only this angle. Okay? Kailangan nating malaman ano ba yung angle na to ng R2. Okay? But as we can see, yung pinaka-rod natin, which is the rod AB, okay, 30 degrees but resting from the vertical. Lagi kong sinasabi, if you are going to make a plane perpendicular, okay, this time that is the R2, yung R2 na yon, kung ito ay galing, yung 30 degrees is galing sa vertical, pagdating dito, dun na siya sa horizontal. So, ito na yung magiging 30 degrees. Okay? Again, it would be referenced now with the horizontal kasi dito galing siya sa vertical. Okay? So, laging magkabaliktad, ano? Kung yung 30 degrees galing naman sa horizontal dito sa plane na to ng AB, pagdating dito, yung 30 degrees nasa vertical naman siya. Okay? So, with this, pwede akong mag-summation of forces. I will have it summation forces vertical. Pinakamadali, summation tayo ng forces vertical equal to 0. So, lahat ng pataas, that would be our positive. So, I will have it the R2. Okay? And then that would be sine of 30 degrees minus 176. No other forces, and that would become equal to 0. So, that it would become equal to 176 divided by sine of 30. So, you will have it as 352 Newton. Okay? And this is now the answer for the first question. So far, do you have any question? Question ba? Galing nga. Wala. Okay. Next. Determine the force in the chord BC. Okay. Ayun. Yun yung chord BC, no? Now, ang gagawin ko para malaman yon, okay, i-isolate ko naman yung member AB ko. Okay. So, if I'm going to isolate that member AB, okay, ilagay natin dito. Para mas okay, assuming that this is your member AB. Oops. Okay. Okay? And then, ilagay natin yung mga forces. Ano ba yung mga forces na meron sa kanya? Unahin ko na yung R2. Okay? That would be my R2. Dito ko siya ilalagay. That is always perpendicular. Okay. So, that would be your R2. Okay? And that is actually ilan? 352. Okay. Ito hindi natin alam. Okay? Ano kaya yung distance niya mula dito sa A? We do not know that. Okay? Now, paano malalaman yon? Una, okay, meron ka, pwede kang kumuha dito, baguhin ko yung kulay. From this point hanggang doon. Okay. And then meron ka ditong 1 degree. 1 meter. So that is 1 meter. So with this, by kung sanay na si geometry, no? So meron kang dalawang triangle. They are similar triangle. Okay. Actually, they could be congruent triangles. Okay. So kung meron kang dalawang congruent triangles and they have the internal angles of 30 degrees, ibabisect lang niya yung 30 degrees. Ibig sabihin ng bisect, hahatiin niya kagad sa dalawa. So it means this term, this angle would now become equal to 15 degrees. And so, to solve for that, let's call it as our x. Okay? I will have it tangent of 15 degrees. So tangent of 15 degrees is equals to the opposite, which is the 1 meter, all over the value of x. So we will now have the x equals to 1 all over tangent of 50. So that's around 3.732. 3.732 meters. So this one is around 3.732. Okay? So wala na tayong problema dyan. The only problem is this BC. Nagbigay siya ng angle. Okay? So ibig sabihin, meron akong angle. So ito yung angle na yon. So pwede ko yung kunin on this part. Okay? So I will have it for the theta. Okay. To get for the theta, so eta tangent negative 1 ko na lang. Okay? Then opposite, which is 3 all over 4. Okay? So I have now the theta, arc tangent of 3 all over 4. So that is around 36. Okay? 0.87 degrees. Kaya lang, that 36.87 degrees, okay, that is coming from the horizontal. Okay? So galing po dito yon. Okay, nasa na yon? Okay? And then from there, tsaka pa lang ako merong tension dun sa rod. Okay? And that is your tension on the rod. Iyon yung aking angle, which is 36.87 degrees. Okay? However, meron pa ako dito. Okay? Mula doon, okay, isipin nyo, okay, kuha ka dito ng triangle, ibuo mo yan, 90 degrees. If this is 30 degrees, horizontal naman to, ilan to? 60 degrees na lang siya. Okay? Kasi, dapat ang sum ng interior angles ng triangle should be 180. So, if you have your 90, 30, so basically, that would be equal to 60 degrees. Okay? So, we could see that pag pinag-add ko silang dalawa, yung total niya is 60 plus 36, that is around 96.87 degrees. Okay? So, ano ang conclusion? Ibig sabihin, itong tension rod ko not perpendicular dito sa aking rod. Okay? So, kung idodrawing ko siya ng mas madali, okay, I will try to draw it okay, ng mas makitang-kita. Okay? And then, maglagay ako dito ng reference line. Yan. So, kumbaga, ito yung gagawin kong axis. Okay? So, ito yung 90 degrees from here. Pero yung force ko, medyo nakaganon pa ng kaunti. Okay. Sorry, nawala yata ako. Ay, nawala pala talaga ako. Pinapansin. Okay, going back. So, mayroon ako natira doon na 6.87 degrees. So, yung pinaka-R ko dito, so lagay ko lang ulit. So, you will have it the R2, which is 352. And then, it has a distance from there equal to about 3.732. Okay? So, again, yung layo mula dito hanggang doon, yun yung pinakahaba. Okay? So, that is around 10 meters. Okay. Now, if I would take the moment at A, okay, itong pinaka-force ko na to, okay, pwede ko siyang i-decompose into perpendicular and parallel dito sa plane. Okay? So, this one would be T, and then that would become equal to sine of 6.87, while this one would become T cosine of 6.87. Okay? Ngayon, pag nag-moment ako at point A, itong horizontal component niya or parallel component, walang moment yun kasi tumatama sa point A. Okay? So going back, I will have it summation, moment at A equal to 0. Okay? So you will be having here, pag ganito yung ating positive, 352 multiplied by 3.732. Okay? And then minus, eto, yung perpendicular, T cosine of 6.87 multiplied it by 10. Okay? I guess wala ka ng ibang forces on the system, so that would become equal to 0. With this, you can now have the value of T. And T is equal to 352 multiplied by 3.732. Okay? Divided by 10 cosine of 6.87. So you will be having here 132.32 Newton. Okay? So this is now the answer for second question. Sir, hindi po ba 36.87? Ang alin po? Yung ito? Sige, pwede ka magsalita para ano. Ito ba, yung kulay mo?
Opo, yung angle po.
Okay. Hindi ko siya ang magiging 36.87 ka, sir, if you are going to decompose it into horizontal and then vertical position. Kung pag ganito yung pinaka, ano mo na, kaya lang, dinecompose natin siya based dito sa plane ng AB para isang parallel at isang perpendicular doon. Kasi, bakit ko ginawa yon? Para pag nag-moment ako at point A, alam ko na itong T is perpendicular dito para ma-utilize ko yung 10 meters. Okay? Pwede naman, okay, walang problema. Let's say, gusto mong ito yung i-decompose. Gagawin natin tong, this would become T sine of 36.87. And then this one would become T cosine of 36.87. But take note, pag nag-moment ka doon, okay, try natin if we will get the same, and it should get the same. So, summation tayo ng moment at A equal to 0. Okay? Unahin ko muna to kasi ito perpendicular naman siya eh. So, you have here 352 multiplied by 3.732. Okay? Pero ito, okay, yung T, so minus T cosine of 36.87. Kaya lang yung moment arm niya, dapat ito ang moment arm na kukunin mo. Okay? And this one, yung vertical na to, dahil cosine naman to, so this would become 10 cosine of 30. So you have your 10 cosine of 30. As well as this one. So minus T sine of 36.87. And then ang moment arm niya, ito namang horizontal. So mula dito hanggang dun. Okay? And then that is the horizontal component. So that is 10 sine of 30. And that would become equal to 0. So that you will get T. So let's check. 352 times 3.732 minus T cosine of 36.87. 110 cosine of 30. Minus T sine of 36.87 times 10 sine of 30. Then that would become equal to 0. And then you should get, excuse me. Okay. You should get still the same, 132.32. Okay. Kumbaga, kahit saan mo siya i-decompose, walang problema, sir. Okay? It's just a matter of
Thank you po, sir.
any question. More question on this one? Okay, try to print screen before I move with the last problem. Okay? Yung last problem natin, okay, kasi tinatanong naman is reactions. Okay, so pwede mong gawin para makuha, it's either you do it horizontally or vertically. Wala namang problema. Okay? So, sige. Pwedeng itong free body diagram na to, pwede rin naman yung free body diagram na to. Walang problema. Okay. So, kunin na natin since horizontal and vertical yung pinat A. Ito na yung gamitin natin. Walang problema, no? Okay. Okay, now, before we proceed, kailangan ito, i-decompose din natin. Okay, so kailangan to, meron ka rin ditong horizontal and then the vertical. So again, kanina, this one is 30 degrees from the vertical. So sabi ko nga, this one should become equal to 30 degrees from the horizontal. So that, yung R2 natin, this one would become R2. Okay, and then cosine of 30. And then this one would be R2 sine of 30. Okay? So, pwede na tayong mag-summation forces horizontal equal to 0. So, we will have it positive on that direction. Okay? So, ito. So, we will be having here the R2. So, 352. 352 cosine of 30. Okay? And then meron ako dito, okay, AH. And then you will be having here vertical AB, no? So assumption ko lang lahat ng directions. Okay? Now, we will be having here this one minus T. So 132.32. Okay? Again, that is cosine of 36.87. Okay, so again, horizontal, and then you will be having here plus AH equal to 0. Wala ka ng ibang forces, so you can now have the value of the horizontal component of reaction. So that's cosine of 36.87 minus 352 cosine of 30. So you will be having here the AH as negative. Okay, so makikita natin that is around negative 198.99 Newton. So, ano ibig sabihin? Okay? Tama yung values, pero mali yung assumption ko ng force. So, ibig sabihin, yung age natin is 198.99 Newton, but its direction is going to the left. Okay? And so, pwede rin akong mag-summation forces vertical equal to 0. Going up naman yung aking positive. Bakit, ngayon ko lang bakit po ganun yung direction po ng R2? Okay, it's because dito, okay, no, ang kino-consider natin ng cylinder is upward. Kaya lang, pagdating dito sa body natin, sabi nga natin, action-reaction. So, kung ito is upward na R2, pagdating dito sa body na to, pababa naman siya. Yun ba yung tanong mo, sir? Or do you have, Gab, do you have any, yun ba yung tanong mo? Or iba?
Yes po, sir. Thank you po.
Okay. Ayan. Action-reaction lang, Third, Newton's third law of motion. Okay? So, proceed ako. vertical, I have here the AV. So AV. And then ito, downward naman siya. So that is minus 352 sine of 36.87. And then lastly, I have here the upward plus T. So ang T ko is 132.32, and then that is sine of 36.87. No other forces equal to 0. So you will now have the value of AH. AV, vertical. So that's 352 sine of 36.87 plus 132.32 sine of 36.87. 352 minus. Excuse me. So that's around mali ako pinot yata. 352 sine of yun. It should be 30. 352 sine of 30. Okay. So yung AB natin, that is 91.61 Newton. And nag-positive naman siya, it means tama yung ating direction. Okay? So, it means, kumbaga kung meron kang kasing isang Cartesian plane, okay? So, yung horizontal mo, papunta ng paganto. Okay? And then yung vertical mo, papunta ng paganan. So, that is 91.61. And this is around 198.99. So, yung pinaka-reactions natin is acting on this point. That is reaction R. So, yung R natin, simply the Pythagorean of 198.99 squared plus 91.61 squared. Okay? So, you have here R, square root of 198.99 squared plus 91.61 squared. Okay, so that's around 219.06 Newton. Okay, so ito na yung ating pinaka-reaction. Okay, that's it for sorry. Sir, hindi po ba R2? Yes po, ayun nga. Nakita ko yung R2. So, ito yung tanong mo, no? So, yung 30. Okay? Sine of 30 po. Sorry. Question?
Sir, basta po sir, pag nag-assume po, yung katulad po dun sa may summation sa may H, kapag nag-negative po yung sagot, ibig sabihin po, babalik na rin lang po yung
Yes
yung
po.
in-assume na positive. Okay, okay po. Tama po.
Okay, so direction lang yun. Ibig sabihin, namamali. Baka namamali lang ng direction. Pwede pa namang itama kung namamali ng direction. Hanggat maaga. Question? Okay. So, there's a lot. Okay, marami pang tayong magiging problem on equilibrium. So, you try to answer as much as many problems dun sa ating equilibrium topic. Okay, pero hindi pa tapos yung chapter. Meron pang dalawa. Okay, dalawang methods. And we will discuss the first one. Okay, if you have no more question on this. Okay, wala na? Sige. So, kung wala nang tanong, buburahin ko na. Okay, wait. Now, before anything else, okay, so balik tayo dun sa basic. Kung natatandaan nyo yung 3 dimensions natin ng isang body, okay, so technically isang 3 rigid bodies. Okay, so sabi ko, meron tayong ilang axis. Meron tayong 3 axis, ano? So you have here the x-axis, you have here the y-axis, and then you have here the z-axis. So basically, no? Okay. So lahat yung merong forces. Okay? Yung truss system, para siyang isang cable system na kung saan yung pinaka-force niya palagi lang dito parallel sa kanya. Okay? Ang kaibahan lang pag sinabi nating cable, palagi siyang pahila. Paano sir yung pahila? Ibig sabihin, for example, meron akong joint dito. Ang force niya, kuwari ito yung cable mo, okay? Ang force niya, palagi lang away. Okay? Puro pa ganun lang yung kaya niya. That is the cable. Okay? So, cable. Hindi kagaya ng isang truss member, okay? Pwede siyang patulak, pwede rin siyang, pwede siyang pahila, pwede rin siyang patulak. Okay? So, saan nanggagaling to? So, nangyayari to kapag sabi natin, okay, meron tayong diniscuss nung nakaraan, di ba? Ang tawag natin doon is 2-force system. Kapag yung isang element is in equilibrium, pero meron lang siyang dalawang forces. Okay, for example, pin yan, pin. Okay? Although meron ka dyang forces, sabi natin, yung forces na yon, it would be collinear dun sa dalawa. Okay? Kapag dalawa lang yung pinaka-force natin, okay, dapat yung line of action nila nagtatama. Okay? So, ito yung principle na ginagamit sa isang truss element. Okay? So, basta yung isang member is in equilibrium and it is acted upon only by 2 forces, and then dapat yung forces nun is collinear dun sa isang bagay. Okay? Ngayon, hindi kagaya ng mga beams. Okay? Kung papansin niyo lahat ng truss members natin, dapat dulo sa dulo lang ang forces. Hindi ka na pwedeng magkaroon dito ng force. Bakit? Pag nagkaroon ako ng force in between the joints of the member, hindi na siya 2-force system. Ilang system na siya? 3 na siya. Isa, dalawa, and then 3. So, dapat doon, magkakaroon ka na doon ng line of action. Doon na papasok yung 3-4 system na magjo-joint naman siya or magiging concurrent naman siya at common point. Okay? Kaya sa tinawag na truss system, no? So, madalas na makikita, although pang civil, madalas na makikita sa mga bubong. Okay? Hindi natin you don't need much of it. Kailangan ko lang i-discuss kasi I do not know in your board exam, kung di ako nagkakamali sa review, para may nakita na akong ME board na kahit pa paano meron. So, JS nyo yata ito, General Engineering. Okay? So, kasama siya. So, papahapyawan lang natin ng kaunti. Okay? Pero you do not need to master this one. Okay? So, ang ginagawa ng joint, okay? Parang ginagawa natin, lahat kasi yan may joint. Okay? So, those are the joints. Okay? Tapos, lahat ng forces natin, dapat dun lang sa joint. Okay? Lahat ng forces natin, wala nang iba. And then, ang ginagawa natin, ina-isolate natin yung isang joint. For example, this joint, i-isolate ko yan. Meron ako ditong load. And then, yung mga member na na-cut, sabi natin, di ba? Pag nag-cut ka ng member, may ma-expose kang force. And if this is a force system, palagi siyang parallel dun sa member. Okay? And then from this, dito ka lang magsasummation forces horizontal and dito ka lang din magsasummation forces vertical. Okay? Now, to give you more example on this, para mas madali nating maintindihan, okay, gawa natin ng problem. Oops. Where's my... Okay. So, let's have this problem. So, determine the forces on each member of the truss. Okay? So, kapag ganyan, ibig sabihin, lahat dapat ng connections natin joint ay pin connection. Okay? So, isa sa mahalaga yun. And then, dapat lahat ng forces mo acting only at the joints. Okay? So, pinakamadali niyan, kunin muna natin syempre yung reactions. Ano? So, we try to find the reactions. Okay? So, ito, since this is a pin, dalawa. Pero pagdating dito, isa na lang. Okay? So, we call that as AV. Sorry, AV. And then this is the AH. And then this is the reaction at E. Okay? Pwede ako mag-moment at point A. So, I will have it summation moment at A equal to 0. Okay? So, I have here 20 multiplied it by 2 plus 15 multiplied it by 4 plus 5 multiplied it by 6 minus E multiplied it by 8 equal to 0. So you have now the force at point E. So that is 20 times 2 plus 15 times 4 plus 5 times 6 divided by 8. So you have here 16.25 kilonewton. Okay? So, pwede ako mag-summation forces vertical equal to 0. So, I have here the AV minus 20 minus 15 minus 5 plus 16.25 equal to 0. So, you have now the vertical equal to 20 plus 15 plus 5 minus 16.25. So, that's around 23.75 kilonewton. Okay? So, ang gagawin natin, we will try to isolate, no? Pero dapat, kapag nag-isolate ka ng joint, dalawang members lang yung nakakabit sa kanya na unknowns. Ibig sabihin, hindi pa natin alam yung forces. Okay? Check natin. Pwede ko bang i-isolate si H? Ilan yung nakakabit sa kanyang hindi pa natin alam ang force? FH, isa. Dalawa, tatlo. Hindi ko pwedeng gawin yon. Okay? So, how about G? 1, 2, 3, 4. Hindi rin pwede. So, for method of joints, the maximum unknown should be maximum of 2 para makapag-solve tayo. How about at E? 1 and then 2. Kasi meron na akong reaction at E. Okay? So, joint E ako. So, joint E. Hahanap ka, no? So, ito yung joint E ko. Meron ako dong reaction. So, yung reaction ko doon is my RE. So, that is around 16.25. Okay? Now, itong member DE ko, hindi ko alam. So, mag-assume ako ng direction. So, pinakamaganda niyan, i-assume natin na laging palayo. Okay? Ang tawag natin doon, tension. Okay? Kapag palayo, ibig sabihin, para mo siyang hinihila, tension ang tawag doon. Kapag towards the joint. Okay, ibig sabihin para mo siyang tinutulak, ang tawag natin doon is compression. Okay? So for this one, I will call it as member TE. Okay? Pati itong GE, a-assume ko siya na patension. Okay? So GE. How about their slope? So ang slope niya, okay? So itong triangle natin na to, tingnan natin, horizontal is 4, vertical is 3. So you have here 4, 3, and 5 triangle. So again, this would become 3, 4, and then 5 triangle. Okay? So kapag meron ka na yan, pwede ka nang mag-summation forces kahit vertical muna equal to 0. So you have here 16.25. Okay? Pataas, so you have plus vertical component of GE, 3 all over 5 of GE equal to 0. So you will get GE equal to sorry, 16.25 times 5 all over 3. So you will be having here negative 27.08 kilonewton. So what does it mean? Mali yung assumption natin na si GE ay pataas. Ano ang conclusion? GE ko, tama na 27.08 kilonewton, but this time this is in compression. Ibig sabihin, patulak. Okay? Para siyang pinipipi. Okay? And then check naman natin si summation forces horizontal. So summation forces horizontal equal to 0. So I have here, itatama ko na ngayon yung GE, para hindi ka malito, itama na natin. So si GE natin dapat pag ganun na talaga siya. Okay? So check natin, horizontal component ng GE, which is 4 all over 5 of GE, which is 27.08, and then minus DE equal to 0. So you have here the DE equals to positive. Ang kalalabasan 4 all over 5 times 27.08. So you will be having here 21.664 kilonewton. Nag-positive siya, ibig sabihin, tama yung assumption natin na palayo siya. So kung nag-positive siya, we will call it as tension. Okay, so pahila. So you have now the member DE, and then you have now the member GE. Okay? So, pwede ka na ngayon mag-move. Hahanap ka ulit ng joint na kung saan maximum yung dalawang unknowns. Check natin at point D. So, point D, ilan yung meron sa kanya? Isa, dalawa, pangatlo yung DE. Kaya lang, alam ko na yung value ng DE. So, minus 1. Dalawa na lang yung unknown mo. In short, pwede na akong pumunta at joint D. Okay? So, at joint D, ilagay ko muna lahat ng known. DE. I-check mo kung paano yung tamang procedure ng DE. Oops, tension siya. So, dapat pala ito, palayo. So, tension pala siya. So, I will now have 21.664 kilonewton. Okay? And then, yung mga unknowns natin, I have here the member CD. Hindi ko alam yan. And then, I will now have here the member GD. Okay? So, with this, kitang-kita kagad, I will try to have it summation forces vertical equal to 0. I could say that my GD, meron pala dito ang GD, and then that is around 5 kilonewton, kasama yung load na yon. So, kitang-kita, GD minus 5 equal to 0. So, I have now GD equals to 5 kilonewton. Okay? And then summation forces horizontal equal to 0, I could have 21.664 minus CD is equal to 0. So that my CD equals to 21.664 kilonewton. Okay? Question? Alam, meron na ako nito, alam ko na to. Pwede na ba ako sa C? Ilan? Ang alam ko lang ito. So, ang nawawala ko pa, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hindi pa pwede. Punta ka sa G. Ilan ang unknown mo? Isa, dalawa. Kasi yung DG at saka yung GE, alam ko na yung values. So, pwede ka na dito sa GE mo. Okay? So, we'll try at G. Okay? At joint G. Okay? Napin natin yung unknown. So, DG. So, si DG, nag-positive siya. Ibig sabihin, tension ano? Ito rin, tension pala to. Ayan, lagyan ko na. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, si DG, kung tension siya, okay? So, dapat palayo dun sa joint. Okay? So, you will be having here DG 5. Okay? Ngayon, alam ko rin yung GE ko. Okay? You have here my GE. At ang GE ko is compression. Oops. Ibig sabihin, pag ganito ang aking GE, 27.08. Okay? And then, ito, I will have it HG or GH. Okay? And then lastly, I will have it CG. Okay? Kaya lang, kailangan kong malaman lahat ng ano, no? Lahat ng inclination. So, ito, magka-incline yan, 3, 4, 5. As well as this one, you have here 3, 4, and then 5. Ito na lang kailangan kong malaman. No? So, this one would be 2. Ito, kalahati lang din, ano? 2 times 1.5. So, ganun din. So, 3, 4, and then 5. Sir, paano na ko yung 3, 4, 5 na yun? Kasi yung triangle na to, so that is 2 meters. Ito, kalahati ng height eh. So, 1.5. Pwede mo yung i-times 2 kung nahihirapan ka. So, times 2 mo lahat para sa pinalaking triangle lang. 4, and then this is 3. So, 3, 4, 5 pa rin. Okay yun? Next. From there, pwede na akong mag-summation. Okay. Pwede ka mag-summation forces horizontal. Okay. Dito na lang pala para ma-delete ko na. Summation forces horizontal equal to 0. So, unahin ko na. Oops, lahat sila pakaliwa ano. So, negative yung CG muna. So, negative 4 all over 5 of CG minus 4 all over 5 of HG minus 4 all over 5 of 27.08 equal 0. Okay? So, simplifying, pwede mo i-cancel lahat ng excuse me. Lahat ng 4 all over 5. Okay? So, I could say that CG, lipat ko sa kabila, plus HG is equals to negative 27.08. Equation 1. Okay? Next, I could have it summation forces vertical equal to 0. Okay? So, pataas, line ko si CG. So, minus 3 all over 5 of CG plus 3 all over 5 of HG plus 3 all over 5 of 27.08 and then minus 5 equal to 0. Okay? So, ilipat natin yun sa kabila. So, that is, burahin ko na to. Okay? Negative 3 all over 5 of CG plus 3 all over 5 of HG equals to 5 minus 3 all over 5 of 27.08. So that is negative 111.248. Okay? And this is now equation 2. You have equation 1, you have equation 2, solving simultaneously, may makuha kang CG, and then may makuha kang HG. Okay? So, let's try. 1, negative 27.08. Negative 3 divided by 5. 3 divided by 5 negative 11.248. Okay? So, you have here negative 4.17 kilonewton, and then you have here negative 22.91 kilonewton. What does it mean? So, ibig sabihin, this is in compression, and then this is also in compression. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, si CG pala, dapat to, okay, pwede mo yung baguhin. Si CG pala, dapat pa ganun, ano? At saka si HG, okay, baliktad. Dapat pala to, pag ganun naman siya. Okay? So, ganun din. Pag natapos mo na, pwede ka mag-join H, join F, and then join B to have all the courses. So, I will leave that to you to complete. Pero dapat dun sa inyong, sa inyong tawag dito, sa inyong lecture, kompleto yung member forces. Okay? So, hindi ko pa hahabain yung method of joins kasi ganun lang naman siya kasimple talaga. Okay? Kailangan lang dyan practice. Okay? Any question on the method of joins? Question? Okay pa. Sige. I guess walang tanong. So kung wala nang tanong, thank you very much and see you next week for your another topic, no? For friction. By the way, yung mga ipa-post na videos ng ibang sections, sa ibang sections, kailangan aralin nyo din, ha? Para ma-maximize natin oras. Kasi 1 month na lang, I guess, finals na. Napakabilis. Kaka-midterm lang, finals na agad. Okay, so kailangan natin matapos. Okay? So, nandito ng topic natin, supposedly, is equilibrium in 3 dimensions. Tapos, we have the frictions. And then, we have the moments of inertia, centroid, etc. Marami-rami pa. Parang kulang yung oras nyo eh. Anyway, kinompress kasi yung SEM na to. Kayo naman yung kawawa namin mga bata. Anyway, do you have any question? Okay, kung wala na po, okay, see you by next meeting.
Thank you po.
Thank you po.
Thank you po, sir.
Thank you po, sir.
Sir, happy birthday.
Salamat po, sir.
Salamat po.
Happy birthday po.
Thank you po.